What's up, guys? Welcome back to Pack Rations. I'm your host, Chef Chris, aka Mr. Bojangle. So today we are doing the pork chops with the pan gravy. Earlier today we did the Marvel Rivals premiere. Definitely worked up an appetite. So this is the perfect way to top off our energy, right? So let me get switched over here. Talk about our ingredients first. So we got these beautiful thick cut bone-in pork chops. Let me glove up so I can show them off a little bit here. You guys can see that real nice. Nice bone-in pork chops. Nice thick cut. Okay, so I pulled these out probably 10 minutes ago or so. Definitely good to let them come to room temperature. So while we work on everything else, we'll let those sit. Got some nice thick cut bacon. We're essentially going to cut this down and render the fat out of this to use for our onions and green beans to give them that nice depth and flavor. So we got some fresh onions and some fresh garlic. You see I got my inspector here already. Inspectors, I should say. Hi guys, go lay down. All right, so fresh onion, fresh garlic. We'll get into that. We got our fresh green beans that we'll trim down a little bit. Pretty basic stuff, nothing crazy. We got our, make sure I get this whole plate in the camera there. So we got our fresh herbs. I got some rosemary and some thyme here. I got some flour and some butter that will make our roux for the gravy. And I have a tablespoon of dry white wine that we'll use. We want that acid to break down all those bits and deglaze our pan and start building our gravy. I also have, I forgot to pull these out, half cup of heavy cream and 1 cup of, I'm using chicken stock. It's a nice neutral flavor. If you want to use actual pork stock or even like a bone stock, feel free, but this will give me a nice neutral flavor and it won't overpower the pork chops themselves. Okay, so if I didn't say 2 tablespoons of flour, 2 tablespoons of butter, so equal parts flour and fat for that roux. We'll move this to the side here. And for our starch, we've got these, of course, golden potatoes. In the Midwest here, we love our potatoes, so all about the potato hoe here. So I've said it before, I'll say it again, blanched potatoes. So I cut these in half, blanched them in water just to soften them up and remove that starch. And we're going to finish these in the pan. This will give us that nice creamy texture for those potatoes that we're looking for. All right, so let's get into the fun stuff here. Glove up, because again, if I can avoid my hands smelling like onions, I would like that very much so. So we'll get this little prep stuff out of the way here first. All right, so I'm going to start with my onion. Okay, and take off not the root. I'm going to go on the opposite end. We're going to take that off. Okay. Give me a nice flat surface. That way I can cut this right in half. Okay. I won't use that half. I'm only going to use half this onion for this dish. Get rid of my scraps here, all this schmutz. We don't need this all over the place. Okay. Now I'm going to take about a quarter. I'm going to go just shy, so I'm intentionally making a big half and a little half. I'm going to use this for our green beans, and this for our pork. Okay. I'm going to do a dice on both of these. The pork one I'm going to do a little bit bigger, and the green beans I'm going to do a little bit smaller. Okay, so I'm going to remove that skin, just like so. It's still secured there. I'm going to remove the skin on this one. There we go. All right, so again, for the green beans, I'm going to go a little bit smaller. I'm going to do pretty much a small dice. So I'm stopping just shy of the tip there. That way it stays together. It's a smaller piece, so I'm holding it together so it doesn't fall apart on me. Okay, now I'm going to come through here. I'm going to do probably 3 cuts because I want to make sure I got a nice small dice. I don't want them to be too big when I go through the top there. So I do one more right there because that was quite a bit. Okay. Keep these together. This top layer is trying to come off on me. That's the bad part about not leaving that full root on, because then it tries to slide and come apart on you. So we got our small medium dice for our green beans. Okay. Trim some of these bigger pieces up there. That's where it was sliding on me on that root piece. Okay. So we got some extra bowls here so I can keep everything separate. These will be our onion for the green beans. And I probably won't use all these, but I can save these and we can use them for all kinds of stuff. So actually, I might make another batch of barbecue sauce, and it's perfect for the leftover right there. Okay. So we got our green bean onion. Now we need our pork onion. So essentially the same thing though. I'm not going to come all the way through the root. I'm going to stop just a little bit short. But I do want to make these a little bit bigger because, again, these are going to be cooking longer in the pork gravy, in the pan, in the dish. And the green beans is going to be a quicker sweat. And with the pork chop, it's going to be a longer essential braise is basically what we're going to be doing. So make these a little bit bigger. I don't know why you're whining, buddy. There's nothing for puppies. Some of these didn't quite do what I wanted, so that's all right. Trim them up a little bit, but again, you want those bigger chunks of the onion for that pork because, again, it's got a longer cook time, so you don't want them to disintegrate and break it down into nothing. So we'll go the onions there. Now it's hitting that the oils and everything from the onion. Now it's starting to hit me a little bit. Not terrible though. Not terrible. Getting this up a little bit. Okay, so we got our onion done. Let's move on to the garlic. Garlic's always fun. Couple more gloves on here. Looks like my light might be about dead. I'm going to swap out my lights here. There we go. All right. So for the garlic, I'm just going to rip it apart, and I want to get about half of the whole head of garlic there. So I'm going to be using probably 2 for the green beans, and then the rest for our pork. Garlic's really not that hard to peel apart. I mean, I see all these different hacks and different things. I mean, if that's what you want to do, fine, but it's really not that difficult. You do have a couple ones that are a little stubborn, like this one's being kind of stubborn, but it's all right. We'll put it to the side and I'll show you how we take care of that. As I say that, I start to struggle with the garlic a little bit. That's comical. There we go. Little shits. Okay. All right. So when that happens, though, it's all right. So like this one, just take it. We're going to use these for the pork anyway. But whenever you bust the garlic open, it just pops that shell right open, or the casing, whatever you want to call it. And it just comes right off. I was trying to be Mr. Cool Guy over here. That's all right. There. All right, so we're going to use these bigger cloves. We'll cut it down just a little bit here, though. This is going to go in our pork. Because again, we want those bigger pieces because that's what's going to cook for a little bit longer, so we don't want it to turn into mush. Okay. Just taking it and kind of breaking it open to make sure all the flavors release when we get it in there. Go. Some smashed garlic. So this is going to be for our pork. This will be for our green beans. So I'm going to take this. Make sure I get it in the camera. You guys can see, even though my hand's blocking everything anyway. I'm going to cut this down. So I'm cutting it in half. So I can get it together here. I'm going to cut it in half again. So quarters. Same with this one. Okay. I'm going to do not a full mince, but I want to do a nice fine chop on this. Come back through. You don't need a mince, but you do want a fine chop. So. Okay. Feel pretty good about that. A couple of big chunks there still. Cut those down just a little bit. All right, so feel good with that. Move that up. There's our garlic for our green beans. Cheers. Okay. Get rid of our junk. All right. If you have not blanched your potatoes before, always start those first. Get that water going. Get potatoes in. Also, before we go any farther, we're going to get our oven going. I'm going to go 400 because I want that high heat to finish the chops, give them some good color, and thicken that gravy for us. Okay. That garlic up. All right. So we got our onions prepped, garlic prepped. We've already got our ingredients for the gravy measured out, our stock and our cream. We've got our roux measured out. All that stuff's ready to go. So for the bacon, again, we're going to render this out. Render out this fat here, and we're going to use that to sweat our onions and cook our green beans. I'm going to chop this down a little bit here. The bacon itself, I'm going to cut it in half. Same thing. I'm going to chop it down a little bit. Okay. There's our bacon. And this was one strip. Depending on how big of a batch of green beans you're doing, I mean, you might need more, but that's just one strip for the size that we're doing. Okay. All right, so we got all of our other ingredients prepped, ready to go. Oven's on heating. Potatoes are ready. So what we're going to do, get our pan going on medium heat. I'm going with just a touch of oil just to give it that base. Okay. Look out, buddy. All right. Pork. Again, we've kind of let this come to room temperature just a bit. Just perfect. I'm coming with just a little bit of salt and pepper. So I don't want to over season these because I want those fresh herbs that we're going to use to be the primary flavor. You know, that fresh garlic, fresh onion, or rosemary, thyme. So I'm just going to do simple with a little salt and pepper here. I'm going left-handed because my right hand is so gloved from the raw pork. I don't want to get gunk all over my shakers. Okay, flip them over. Always make sure you season both sides of your protein. Go back in with that salt. And pepper. That lid's gonna dump off on me. That'd be no good. Go a little salt and pepper. Pan's getting nice and hot. That's almost ready. Celine's still up here, but she'll be running off before too long. She does not like it when the smoke alarm goes off. I don't know why it's so sensitive either. Okay, I think we're ready to go here. Nice sear going. Beautiful. It's exactly what we want. Let's go get some nice color on them. And for the green beans, I'm going to do those in a separate pan. I'm not actually going to start it just yet. I'm going to wait till the pork chops get flipped and get closer to going in the oven. That way it all times out pretty close. So we'll just kind of leave this sit for now, get this out of the way. Bring my other pork stuff over, that way it's all ready to go here. Yeah, I'm excited. So earlier today I did the launch premiere of Marvel Rivals on the Botaco's channel, so the gaming channel. Excuse me. I love playing Deadpool. He's been one of my favorite characters for always. But next week, I think we're going to do his chimichangas. So he's always talking about chimichangas, and in the game, it's one of his voice lines, multiple of them. So next week, yeah, I think we'll do a good tie-in with those chimichangas, and it'll be a Deadpool themed episode next week. So it'll be fun, though. It'll be fun. Make sure you monitor your heat. You don't want to get too hot. Yeah, that didn't take very long. She took off already. Yeah, the dogs actually have their own YouTube or not YouTube, excuse me. The dogs have their own Facebook and Instagram pages now. The Hero and the Halo. Make sure you guys check that out. You see all their full antics and craziness, and it's good stuff. Good stuff. I'll let these go till they get a nice, good sear, get some nice color on them. Give them a flip. Then we'll actually take these out of the pan, and that's when we'll start to build our gravy. Ooh, mustard. Well, I'll go for just a few minutes here, and then I will rotate them 90 degrees. Make sure the middles are on the outside. Make sure they get that nice even sear everywhere. Oh, dogs. What are we going to do with you? And keep in mind, I've got 5 animals. I've got 2 cats, 3 dogs. It just materializes out of nothing. Really. That releases. We're getting there. Now I'll give it that 90-degree flip. Get a good sear everywhere. And this one. It's releasing. It's not sticking. It's exactly what we want. This guy's not going to fit right though. Hang it up a little bit. Fine. You win. You win, pork. You win. Not gonna fight the bone. Sorry. Get back here. There's nothing up here for doggy. Go on. Go on, buddy. Go. Go. Good boy. You can play, dude. I don't know if you guys can notice. He went to the vet on Monday. Playing too rough. You kind of see it on his head there. Nothing too bad, too serious. Just a good little scrape. Got him cleaned up, all that kind of stuff. But dogs will be dogs. Let me get these flipped over here. Nice color on them. I'm going to take my fan up one. Here we go. What's up, buddy? You're the boy. Nice here everywhere. I almost wish I had a meat weight just to keep everything nice and flat. Almost there. Almost there. Again, just trying to make sure it gets that nice even sear. I mean, I'm not necessarily pressing on it for any particular reason other than, again, just to make sure it's got that nice even. It's laying nice and even, so it gets that nice even sear. Yeah, it's not like I'm trying to press out a burger here on this. Again, just making sure it gets that nice sear. Beautiful. That looks beautiful. This guy back around one more time. So because of my ring of fire from the burner, so this part is much hotter than that empty space in the middle. So it's actually getting more color on the outside than in the middle. I'm going to set these off. That way I've got a landing plate here. So these can come off and they can rest. Okay. This out and let these rest. Oh, nice, beautiful color on these guys. Okay. Again, I'm going to set these over to the side, let them rest for the time being. It's nice, beautiful brain fart, sorry. We are going to take our butter now. We're going to melt down our butter. I'm going to reduce my heat to that medium low. As long as your fond, there we go, that's what I was looking for. I just drew a blank earlier. As long as your fond isn't black burned, you want to keep it. Keep it. If it's black burned, then it's going to negatively affect how your food tastes. Taking it off the fire for a minute. This heating pad is not worth it. Damn. I don't want my butter to start burning. I'm going with about 2/3 of that onion. And sweat out our onions. Again, I talk about layering our flavors, so that's what we're doing here. We're just starting to develop that flavor base for our gravy. We need to season each layer of the flavor profile that we are building. Now I'm going with some salt and pepper. I'm keeping the seasoning simple on this one because, again, I want the flavors from those fresh herbs to really shine. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to offset my pan a little bit. So my burner's over here. I just put butter. I'm putting this half of the pan primarily on the burner because I don't want my onions to burn back here, but I want them to stay hot and keep kind of doing their thing a little bit. Okay, put that butter one back down. Now I'm going to go in with my potatoes here because I want to get these a good seared, some good color on them. So again, blanch your potatoes, drain them, and put them to the side and let them just sit and steam. Okay, they're going to dry out a little bit. That's exactly what you want, so they pick up all that beautiful flavor and color. I recommend trying to make sure you start them with the cut side down. Be very careful in here because things are hot. Things are very hot. If you have tongs, use tongs. So again, I kind of offset my pan a little bit on the burner. That way this is where the heat is all at, so I can keep cooking over here, keep these warm without burning them. Now I'm going to come over with my tongs though. See how we're doing. Getting there. Not quite yet. We're getting there though. Just want to get some nice color on our taters. And potatoes will suck up salt. So I'm going to go in with some salt again on just on the potatoes this time. Because they are going to soak up that salt with nothing. A little bit of pepper. Make sure the onions aren't burning here. They're still doing their thing. You here to help, bud? I appreciate you. So my fire's on medium low right now. I'm going to go ahead and take that back up to medium. I really want to make sure I get some good color on these. It's getting there. So I flip them over so I can go in with some more salt. Again, season each layer of the flavor profile you are doing. Now, when I go to build my roux, I'm going to take the potatoes back out of here, just so I have more room in the pan to move the whisk around and break down the flour and all that kind of stuff. So, wanted to get all sides of my potato seasoned up there, so now I'm going back into that. Again, make sure I get some really good color on these guys. Sort of the onions, make sure they don't end up burning back here. Hi, buddy. You here to help? Are you the official taste tester? No, you can't have nothing today, buddy. It's all loaded with pork and bacon and garlic, and it's not for doggies today. What did you find? Oh, it's a piece of onion skin. Dude. Imagine that he spit out the onion skin. Go lay down, baby. Good boy. I'll holler if I need you, okay, bud? How about that? Does that work for you? No? Alright. Alright, fine. Right, so yeah, now we're getting some good color on these. Most of them, anyway. Let's fry it just a little bit more. And I will go ahead and go in with my garlic. So we got those big chunks of garlic. And my potatoes are getting close enough. Oop, I just lost one. I have to get some new oven mitts. These are not very good. It's gone. It's gone. I'll start lifting that garlic through this thing. I think these potatoes are just about ready to come out here. And what I'll do is I will put these back in when we go to pop this in the oven to finish it. These guys just a little bit more there. So again, by blanching these first and then finishing them here, it's going to give us that nice creamy center. And this is going to give us that nice golden brown on the outside. Okay. Okay. We get our pan re-centered and we drop that heat back down to medium-low. Okay, so we got our butter in there. Now, take that off the heat for just a second. I don't like the way that looks. A little extra crispy piece of onion. It's probably stuck under the potato. Get rid of those. Okay. Alright. We're going with the flour. We've got our garlic in there, onions. Starting to build our roux now, okay? Actually, it just hit me. I got my dry white wine there. I should have done that first to really deglaze it. Then go in with the flour. That's all right. This is a dry roux here, so it'll be okay. You do want to let this cook for just a moment to cook that flour. That way you don't have that raw flour in your final dish there. Dropping that heat down to low because this cast iron is retains so much heat. I don't want this to burn. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in with that wine, and then immediately after with that stock. Because if I just do that wine, it's going to try to seize on me. So, I'm ready for the wine, but I'm going to take this off the fire. Turn the fire off for a moment, actually. For one, I don't want to do it out on the side, and that wine could potentially cause the fire to flare up. I don't want it to happen while I'm doing it over here and burn me or melt my phone. I'm also taking it off the fire because I want that pan the temperature to drop just a touch, because I don't want this to try to seize immediately. So, okay. Both these at the same time here. So white wine, chicken stock. Because again, this will try to seize on me if I just do the acid by itself. It'll try to seize. You do not want it to seize up on this. Get the stock in there, get all that rolled down. That's also going to help drop the temperature of everything in here. That way when we go in with our cream doesn't scorch. When you get that ripping hot pan, you hit it with that cream, you could potentially scorch it. And we don't want to do that. So, okay, go with my cream. Again, this is just heavy cream. All this mixed in. Probably going to add another quarter cup of water to this. So that's going to essentially rinse out my measuring cup as well. And wait for this to start to simmer. And then we'll go in with our herbs. Put our potatoes back in, pork, and then it'll go in the oven to finish. So again, I'm going to hit a quarter cup of water. So I want to kind of rinse out my measuring cup a little bit. Okay. Now we just added 3 more ingredients. So guess what that means? We need to season this layer of our dish. Imagine that. Okay, so I'm just going to give it a quick whisk, make sure it's all incorporated, mixed together good. Now again, I'm going to go in a little bit of salt, a little bit of pepper. Notice I'm not using white pepper. Haters can hate, that's fine. I've made my claim about white pepper. If you want to use it, by all means use it. I don't want to use white pepper, so. Forgot to turn the fire off so you didn't have any photos. That's all right. I was wondering why it was taking so long to start to simmer. It's all looking good though. Just waiting on this to come up to simmer here. That's the key thing to remember about your roux also. So if you have a hot roux, make sure you add cold liquid. If you have a cold roux, make sure you add hot liquid. Okay, so it's vice versa. Hot roux, cold liquid, cold roux, hot liquid. Okay. So for this one, we had a hot roux because we were cooking out the flour, cooking out the butter. That gave us a hot roux, so we added in our cold liquids, that stock, that cream, and I did it with a touch of water because I don't want it to get too thick while it's in the oven. So, and again, I want to wash off some of that cream, get my gravy here. At this point, I do want to taste our gravy as well. We want to make sure if we need to add any seasonings, this is the time to do it. It needs some more salt. It needs a lot of salt, actually. Who am I kidding? It needs a lot of salt. You can see it's starting to thicken up nice, though. It's just what we want. This is might get too thick in the oven actually, so I'm going to go in. Started with a cup of stock. I'm going to add about another quarter cup of stock here. I don't want this to end up being a paste at the end, so. See how we're looking now. We're adding more stock, so I need to see if we're going to add more salt now. better. I'm going to hold it for a second. Wait till we get everything else. Put the potatoes back in. Get our aromatics in there. That's looking good. So I'm going to go in with the aromatics first. Again, we got some fresh rosemary and some fresh thyme. That do its magic in there. Save some of this for our garnish there. There we go. Again, you don't want to put in your fresh herbs until the end here, because if they sit here and simmer the entire time, they're going to turn brown, and it's just not what we want. So, give me my whisk back. That is good, though. That is good. And then there's my tongs. There we go. We'll go ahead and kill the fire on this now. With all that starting to come through. Get our potatoes back in here. You want to try to leave the cut side up. That's actually what I recommend. I'm just kind of dropping them in. That way they keep that nice crispy side. So I'm going on the outside of the pan. That way, when I come back in with my pork chops, I've got plenty of room on the outside for my pork chops. Or plenty of room on the inside for my pork chops. So I'm using those potatoes to kind of set that one up. That way it's not completely done in the gravy. Spooning some of that gravy over the top here. Make sure it doesn't dry out. And of course, you got to put in all that beautiful drippings back in. Gotta have that. Get that mixed in a little bit. Okay. That's really good. It's really good. Okay. Again, oven at 400. We're going to go in. About 10 minutes. Should be good. We'll check it when we get there. Okay. Going for our green beans now, though. Get a timer set here so I don't get sidetracked talking to you. Starting at 12 minutes. All right, so for our green beans, we're going to start with the pan on a medium-low heat. Let that warm up a bit. Going with our bacon. That is probably good. We'll pull some of that back out. That's probably good. So we got this on a low heat. We're not trying to fry bacon. We're trying to render the fat out. So we're starting at a lower heat because we want to slowly bring up the temperature of that bacon so that fat essentially melts out of it. Okay, that's the process of rendering the bacon. Using my same spatula from my same wooden spoon from the pork there. Make enough dishes. Okay. Let that do its thing. I'm just kind of tidying up a little bit while we're waiting on that bacon to do its thing over there. You can already see all that fat that's starting to render out of this bacon. It's exactly what we want. Almost there. So once we render out this fat, we're going to go in with our onions, sweat those down, then we'll go with our garlic. On the green beans here, though, I like to trim them down just a bit. So you got some of these unperfect ends. I like to just clean them up, trim them down. So I'm just cutting off these little bit of tips here. If you notice your green beans have like brown spots, soft, mushy areas, probably not good green beans. I wouldn't recommend using them. So just something to kind of keep an eye out for. Guess I can do this more on the camera so you guys can see what I'm doing here. I'm still new to this whole thing. All right. Okay, like I said, I'm just trimming off those ends a bit, cleaning them up. That's all. There's our beans. Remember, we're not making brown beans, so I see that a lot where, like, especially in the restaurant industry, where like the green beans come out and they're brown. Typically, it's because they've been sitting for hours. I'm not kidding you. After a couple of hours, they start to degrade. They get mushy and they lose their color, and they're not that nice, bright, vibrant green. So, don't serve brown beans, okay? Again, you kind of see all that fat that we've rendered out of this bacon already. That's perfect for our to sweat our onions down. So again, we talk about seasoning each layer of the flavor profile that we are building. Something to keep in mind though, bacon is naturally salty. It's high in sodium. Okay, so right now I'm not adding any salt, and as you've seen, I don't need to. I'm getting a ton of salt out of the bacon itself. That's the bacon. I don't need to salt the bacon. Right? It's looking pretty good to me. So I'm going with some of this onion because I'm not going to use it all. We'll make some barbecue or something next couple days. There's my helper. I was wondering where you went, buddy. I was lost without you. I didn't know what to do, dude. Now he's hiding. What's up, Ajax? Yeah, buddy. And there he goes. So we got our onion in here. We're going to toss that. Again, we're going to sweat it out. That means we're not looking for any color necessarily. We're just starting the cooking process, getting them translucent and softening the texture and releasing the flavors. And now that I put onion in here, I do want to go in with not a lot because we got all that salt from the bacon. And some pepper. And I only need salt and pepper for the green beans even. So our pork dish has the fresh aromatics. This is gonna have that bacon and the garlic. So that's where I want the flavors to shine on our green beans is that bacon and garlic, and our pork dish is those fresh herbs. So that's the flavor profile that I'm going for. So I'm not gonna add a bunch of extra seasonings to our green beans. Okay, I need to start to get where we want them. Starting to get translucent. Smells amazing, I might add. Now for my garlic. Because again, garlic cooks much faster and it'll burn quickly. So we don't want to put everything in at the same time and then just wonder why it doesn't cook right. You have to consider how long each ingredient takes to actually cook. Garlic is quick, so we add it at the end. Actually, I'm gonna go ahead and take these green beans. They will fit in the pan like they are, but I'm just gonna go ahead and take them and just cut them in half here. That way I'm not fighting it. I'll fight the green beans though. Bastards. Just trying to roll away. Come here. No. It's really hot. I have to burn myself. Okay. So now I'm going to go with my beans. I want these to get tossed in that bacon fat, that oil, because it's all seasoned up with the garlic and the onion. Make sure it all gets tossed, coated nicely. And I'll let them start to cook. Oh, I wasn't trying to throw onion outside the pan, just trying to get it off the spatula. Let these go for just a moment. And we're going to hit this with a little bit of a chicken stock and water mix. If you wanted to serve blistered green beans, this is the perfect way to start them. You just don't add any liquid to it. Just let them go so they get that nice blister on them. So I'm cranking that heat back up to medium now because these are about where I want them as far as everything's starting to come together. We're starting to see where they're starting to get the dark green spots. That's what we want. So I'm going to go with a touch of chicken stock. That's just going to add more flavor. And some more. This is just what I have handy. There's no other reason for me to, I'm not using bubble water for any particular reason. It's just, it was in the fridge next to the chicken stock, so I grabbed it. That's all. Just a little bit of liquid in here so we get that actual steam action going now. Cover that up. Let those cook a bit. The rest of my mess cleaned up here. Hi, bud. I know you're here to help. however you can help, right? Whatever I need, you're the guy. I appreciate you, bud. Sorry, I'm gonna buck the camera for a second, guys. Just like I said, just trying to pick up a little bit. Chops are about to go off here. There it is. I know this isn't going to work very well, so I'm going to go ahead and double it. All right, let's see how we're looking here. Let me grab my thermometer. All right. So we want to try to go in the thickest part of the chop. We're looking for 165. Hi, dogs. Are you ready for your portion, your snack? You're not getting any of this stuff. Sorry, guys. I'll find something else for you. So these do need a little bit more. We're getting there, though. Bottom ones are done, actually. So it's starting to... That's blood from the bone that's leaking out. We're temping. They temp to 165. So that's the thing with the pork chops, though, is like, people see something like that, like, oh, it's not done, it's not done. It's done. It's 165 it's done. If you cook it much more, it's going to dry it out. This top one needs a little bit more work, though. That's all right. So I think what we'll do, we'll just swap these guys around here. Okay. We'll go back in for about another 5 minutes. Your green beans, you want them to be nice and tender. You don't need them to be mushy, but they should still have that, not like snap but they should have a bit of a bite to them still. They should not be mushy and soggy. That's overcooked green beans. Just need a bit more. Hi, buddy. Getting there. Pork here. Excited for that pork. Smells so good. Bring my plates over because I want to easy to grab when I go to plate up here. So you can see my pan's getting almost dry on the liquid. It means the green beans have soaked most of it up, which is good. I'm going to add just a bit more water here though, because these are still, they need just a bit more. Just a bit more. Again, there's no particular reason I'm using bottled water. It's just available in the fridge and I want to get rid of it. So. Put those back up, let those finish up. Pork should be done. Yeah, this hot holder sucks ass. It does. It looks cool, but it sucks ass. Right, see how our pork chops are looking? Done and done. We're good. Bring this over so you guys can take a look at it real quick. There's our pork. Okay. Could serve it just like this if you wanted. Put these around. Make it look all nice and pretty. Wow. That's okay. He's okay. Just a little something, something. The beans should be right there at the finish line. Oh, yeah. Perfect. That's a little bit of a texture to them still. They're not crunchy. They're not soggy. Put fire on those. And let's go plate out. Alright, so I'm going to start with the beans here. A nice pile of them. Let me actually rearrange this a little bit so you guys can see what I'm doing. So the green beans in a nice little pile here. Make sure you get some of that beautiful bacon and onions in there. Gotta have it. Right. Go in with some potatoes. Well, I'm a potato guy, so don't mind me while I load my potato in my plate with potatoes. I can't stop talking about potatoes. I love them so much. That should be it. We'll see. I'll be back, I'm sure. Alright, I'm going to set this over here so we'll use that for the plates. Some of the gravy. Just put it right down over the top and let it run down. And let it garnish. Okay. There it is, guys. You can see that good. Bring it over to the other camera here as well. Let me switch it so you guys can get a good look at it. Kind of bring it over here so you can see it good. There we go. It's like a mirror for me almost. Looks pretty good. Smells amazing. I can't wait. So I'm going to put this one over to the side. I'm going to take pictures of that one for you guys so I can get it all posted on the pages and everything. So we'll switch back over our camera. Okay, this will be the one that we actually just stuff our face with here. Got some taters. Glad I have the taters. I'm excited, guys. I'm excited. All right. Let's start with the potato, just because why not? Nice and soft. Very hot. Perfect texture though. Nice and creamy on the inside. I still think the potatoes need more salt. Damn dogs. Okay. Boom. Let's cut a piece off here. I don't want that fat, no thank you. Cooked nice and perfectly. Nice and tender. Seasoned just right. Salt and pepper, nice and simple. You get all that beautiful, that fresh thyme, that garlic. Oh, that is good. That is good. Well, I could sit here and eat this whole thing on camera, but I'll save you guys that image. Make this. Very good. All right, guys. As a part of my full food. Appreciate you guys watching. We'll see you next week. We'll do chimichangas. Until then.